Welcome to Fratflix, a podcast where college entrepreneurs chasing their dreams share their stories of success, lessons, and advice for you guys. Let's get it. Ofri and I met 3 years ago on a cruise ship in Europe. It was an awesome experience, but there was something from the moment I met you where you had this entrepreneurial drive, where you were a go-getter just from the very beginning. Where did that come from?
Um, well, ever since I was 9 years old, I've always wanted to just build something huge. Like I wanted to, you know, be one of those big entrepreneurs that was in the yachts and just, having that extravagant lifestyle. And I knew that I needed to, you know, go the entrepreneurship path in order to get that because working a 9 to 5 is not the way to wealth. Um, Unless you're like a doctor or something, and I know I'm not smart enough for that. So ever since I was 9, I was thinking of ideas to start, like starting an app or something like that. And that is kind of how it originated from. I have pictures of me creating prototypes of um, games that I wanted to build and put on the App Store and all that. So yeah.
That's awesome. How did that spirit come from a just like a childhood dream to you making it to reality now with starting with your clothing brand back whenever we 3 years ago, and then now you're DJing and doing AI receptionist. How have you carried that spirit over?
Yeah, so um honestly, the clothing brand is what really sparked my entrepreneurship and business mindset. That is what got me hands on into business and selling to customers, actually seeing profits come in, and just learning the ins and outs of pretty much basic business with the lowest barrier to entry. And I was basically just able to use that knowledge to expand into um, AI and kind of use that whole business model to create those connections that I'm able to, go and sell to companies and productize pretty much my AI services.
How did you start Nuvery, your clothing brand? How did you start all of that? Like, give me the kind of the breakdown of where it originated from and all the ideas and sparks you put into it.
Yeah, so Nouvier is actually an inspiration of Fear of God, the Essentials brand. I really liked that whole style. It was minimalist, felt luxury. And I mean, there's also this saying called steal like an artist. And I thought that I would steal some of the more notable elements like the logo on the front of the hoodie, and I thought that if I would use that certain type of font, people would, you know, already feel um, they already recognize it, so they kind of are familiar with it, and people have a hard time kind of picking up new concepts. But if you can give a concept that they already like, then you don't have to reinvent the wheel. People are going to be like, oh, this is so cool, let me go ahead and try it out. And I just started marketing it as a scarce product, limited quantity, luxury. And my classmates and all that started to just come up to me and be like, yo, where'd you get that? I want to buy one. And I just started selling it to them, and they would literally pay me like $100 for a hoodie that cost me like 25 to make, just because of the brand and all that. So
The aesthetics of it. What did you learn from that first business that you carry on to your AI receptionist now?
it's a good question. Mostly I learned marketing, how to sell basically just a product to basically anyone. And I learned all these psychological things that you need in order to sell someone, like the scarcity, all that. And I also just learned how to just run a business and like fulfill products to people and just make them happy. I really locked in on making every customer extremely happy, and in doing so, making that my number one priority. Every single customer was telling their friends about my product, and that was free marketing. And I do that. I do that same thing with my AI business, and I give these companies white glove onboarding. I'm supporting them 24/7 myself. I'm not hiring people just yet. And I want them to feel like this is, about them, and we're really like there to partner with them. And in doing that, they're going and telling other people like this is the company you need, like blah blah blah. It's completely free marketing, and it really just changes the way we do business.
Yeah. Self-teaching yourself everything is one of the hardest parts, but one of the best parts of entrepreneurship, in my opinion. The fact that you you have an idea, you have an inspiration, and from that you're like, what do I do to get it to reality? And so for me, it's like I watch YouTube videos, I sit and just grind hours on editing, watching what other people do, mimicking what they try to do for my videos, and then writing and journaling, analyzing all of it. And that's how I've self-taught myself to this point, and I have a long ways to go. What what have you done to self-teach yourself?
Man, wow, that's a good question. I've taught myself more than I can even imagine. Like, as far as how to sew for my clothing brand. I wanted to do everything hands on. Obviously, how to market. Probably watched thousands of hours of YouTube videos on AI and podcasts and business, just from people I look up to, and just mostly surrounding myself with people who are where I want to be, which is millionaires and all that. And as far as like teaching myself things, I had to learn how to, you know, interact with code and all that, which is something that was very foreign to me at the time. And I told myself, I'm not going to do all these coding boot camps. I'm not going to, take computer science in school. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start this business and I'm going to learn how to do this stuff. And I feel like that helped me learn much faster because I was just like only learning what I needed for the business, and I was just going on ChatGPT, like, yo, what does this code mean? How do I integrate this thing? Blah blah blah, and just figuring it out as I go. And now I have this beautiful, multiple beautiful products that I built literally just because I prioritize speed and action over um, being scared and overwhelmed.
I think that is totally the beauty of entrepreneurship, especially at our age, is failing, and the worst that can happen is you get bad grades. You
Yeah,
know, like the worst that can happen is that you're still a college student at the end of the day. You can try business, it fails, who cares?
exactly.
What does focus look like to you when you're working?
Focus looks like I can't even lie. I go to bed at like 3 a.m. because I'm working on my businesses, and I like that interrupted time because nobody's really up that late. And I just lock in, like, phone away, no TV, and just get in that flow state. And I feel like if you can get into that flow state for just a couple hours, you can get so much more done than if you're on checking your phone every once in a while and all that. Just locking in for those 2 hours, and then pretty much to whatever else you want that day. But those two productive hours are enough, are better than like eight, kind of productive hours.
Yeah. Could you walk me through one of your days of working? I know you're a very busy guy, and I'm always intrigued by how student entrepreneurs manage classes, entrepreneurship, and while also having fun and taking care of themselves. So, can you just walk me through what you do?
Absolutely. So I wake up at around 10 o'clock and I go to my first class. And then after that, try to get some food in me. It's important, fuel yourself. Get some coffee because, I mean, man, you need that to run. And then,
Yo,
yeah. And then after my class, which I usually do my homework in class, I will just start working on the businesses. Even in class, if we're not doing anything important, I'll work on my businesses. And from 3 p.m. to like 3 a.m., I will just lock in on those 10 hours, 12 hours, and get a couple breaks here and there. But like I just know that if I lock in for the next 6 months to a year and have this kind of schedule, that nobody will be able to catch up because nobody really wants it bad enough, but also just nobody's putting in that amount of time and effort, and that stuff just really it compounds over time, and you don't even need to put in 10 hours, like 3 to 4 a day, putting it towards your entrepreneurship. You could have a full-time job and still make something happen if you just um, put your time after the 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship. I used to work at Fogo de Chao, and my hours were crazy. I literally worked the entire day, and after work, I would come home and I would be exhausted, but I would work on my clothing brand because I didn't want to work at Fogo forever. Um, and I was making videos and stuff at like 2 a.m. when I got back. And eventually that let me create a source of income from content creation, because I was doing things in parallel, which just shows you like you don't need to wait for the perfect time. You just need to get started now, as soon as possible, yesterday. Um, and with that being said, though, I do like to have fun. So on the weekends, I'm a DJ. I will go and get a gig or whatever, or just go out with some friends and have a good time. Because I mean, you need to have a balance, or you're just gonna drive yourself crazy. And that's what kind of keeps me going. Just talking to people, having fun with it, because it doesn't need to be a completely stressful journey.
Yeah, absolutely. What does fun look like for you on the weekends? Because like so I've heard multiple sources from like podcasts. They always say, "Oh, you can't drink more than 2 beers or it's bad for you, or you need to stop drinking because if you drink it's going to ruin your week." You always hit a reset every time you drink. So do you drink to like black out every time, or is it you have 4 to 5, you have a great night with the guys, but then you're always ready coming Monday, coming Sunday evening to hit back on the grind?
Yeah, no, I definitely do not black out. I try to, stay mentally sharp as far as that goes, but I'll have, a couple drinks here and there, kind of spread out throughout the night, um, just to kind of keep me loose and stuff. But I really just enjoy, being outside of the house. I think it's really good for you to leave the house and to talk to people. And while I'm out of the house, I'm making connections with, you know, important people. So it's a win-win. It's not a waste of time, honestly. You need those connections as an entrepreneur. That's one of the most important parts of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned a little bit about content creation just prior, and content creation is so big today. I mean,
Yeah.
you go on Instagram, if your feed is any bit like mine or probably yours, you're seeing college kids, young adults just spam, "I'm doing digital marketing, I'm doing
Hmm.
this, I'm making money this way. Let me show you the tips and tricks. This is how you do it." What is the secret for you? What would you say is that step? Because I'm personally struggling with it right now to record a video. It's a mental gap in my mind where I want to make the videos, but I'm scared of judgment, not good quality, editing's gonna be bad. I can't make
Yeah.
good quality videos. So what's your advice on that?
First of all, perfectionism is what will make you never want to post a video. Because if you're always trying to make things perfect, it's not going to happen. What I do, my mindset around things, first of all, I make a new account. None of my friends follow me on my bigger accounts because I don't want to subconsciously be worrying about what they think. I want to just post some shit and a bunch of random people comment, but I don't really care about them. Um, and once you got that fresh account, I guarantee you your mindset's gonna shift. You're not even gonna care what people think. You're just gonna post stuff, um, and just get that volume up. You need to get comfortable with it. I was posting like 5 times a day, 5 times every single day. That consistency is the reason why I was getting views, because one of the videos is gonna land and hit, and once one hits, the algorithm starts freaking loving you, and it's gonna start pushing out all your other videos. So basically, just consistency and not giving a crap what people think.
Yeah. Easier said than done. The fear of judgment is easier said than done to
Like
conquer.
I said, create a new account without
Yeah.
any of your friends, and it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah. And while I say it's easier said than done for judgment, honestly, it's as easy as can be because nobody in 5 years from now will think, oh, remember that dumb video that kid made? He was trying hard to get successful. Look how stupid he is. Like, nobody in their right minds will ever think of you. If they are, then they have a pretty bad life themselves.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong, I have people that hate on me all the time. I have friends that make fun of me all the time, and I don't take it personally. Like the other side of embarrassment is everything you could ever wish for in life, and I mean I learned that just through doing it. Like everything, just creating an income from social media, even though people were telling me like your videos are so cringy, or like you're never gonna get any views or whatever. Like your video, look at your videos, you're just posting, wasting your time, they're only getting 1,000 views. I was like, yeah, they're only getting 1,000 views right now, I just got started. But I just knew that if I stayed consistent it would happen. And same thing with business. I put myself out there like crazy when it comes to my businesses. I start many new ones. A lot of my businesses actually fail, but the few that don't fail, it's life changing. And you just got to put yourself out there, put things out on the market, and see if people like it, if they want to buy it. And yeah, I have friends that I say I just closed a 6-figure deal. They're like, Cap, no, you didn't. There's no way, or whatever. And then just a bunch of like reasons why, everything but saying congratulations. And I'm like, all right, like, what is your problem? But yeah, people want you to do good, but not better than them, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your mindset. You were talking about consistency and consistency being key to success. But previously, you also mentioned you got to trick yourself into loving it.
Hmm.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta tell yourself like you get to do this stuff. Like you get the opportunity right now, especially if you're in college. You don't have to pay very many bills. Um, Most people trying to do entrepreneurship need to literally get investments just to fund their life, like their rent. We don't need to do that. We get to just start our company, no expenses, and fail 100 times. That is the golden opportunity. Many people do not realize that they are just in college trying to drink, smoke, have a good time. When you should be doing the opposite, because honestly, in 3 years when you graduate, like I would like to be retired instead of having to worry about what 9 to 5 job I'm going to work for the rest of my life, and have that freedom. So what you're exchanging, this little bit of entrepreneurship, hard work, or whatever, you're exchanging it for the rest of your life's freedom. So if that doesn't get you motivated, then I don't really know what will.
that's
Yeah.
that's so true. That's so true.
One more thing.
Yeah, what's up?
You need to make sure that the thing you're building also helps people. If you see people that are constantly giving you good feedback and are like, your thing is helping me so much, thank you so much, telling their friends about it, I mean, that's just, there's nothing better than that. Like, that just keeps you going.
Hmm. So, on what's one moment on your hardest day where you wanted to give up? Was there a defining moment that, once you got over that hump, you kept climbing higher and higher?
Probably this last month has really tested me. Like, I've I'm just now I'm learning how to do this whole coding thing. Everything breaks. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a mentor that can, just tell me what to do. I have ChatGPT that can kind of help, but yeah. And just those kinds of moments like really test me. I'm like, am I even built for this or whatever? And I have to constantly remind myself, like, dude, on the other side of just figuring this thing out is everything you want. Like, you just need to get through this moment. And what most people do is kind of just drag themselves into this endless hole trying to figure it out. I actually, when I can't figure something out, I take a step back. I will actually go and take a break, and kind of just regain my thoughts, take a walk or whatever. And usually when I come back, like I solve it like pretty fast just because my mind is all cluttered and I'm all frustrated and stuff. That's not a good way to operate. So you come back, you're calm and stuff, and that's how you get over the humps.
Absolutely. And keep going on that mindset talk. I think success literally all starts in your mind. Like, it's the very first thing is the start of success. It's where your aspiration comes from. And then somewhere along the journey, people start having that doubt and they aren't able to switch that mindset. They fall back into their old ways, their old habits of losing their time to work. And then they fail, and sometimes they want to get back up and sometimes they don't. But for the people that do, how would you tell them to fix their lifestyles, to switch that mindset?
Yeah, this is a very good question. I would tell you that you need to change your identity, what you believe that you are. I tell myself every day like I am a like billionaire entrepreneur. I do this shit. I feed myself all this confidence, not cockiness, not like I'm better than anyone. Like just I deserve this. Like I put in the work. I deserve this. And just constantly you have to talk to yourself really nicely. You can't be so critical of yourself because then you're not going to want to, do anything. You're not going to want to go through with anything. You need to show gratitude in what you're doing. And mostly just it all starts with your identity. You need to define your identity as somebody who is hardworking, somebody who follows through, somebody who doesn't give up, somebody who is a wealthy person and deserves wealth, and helps people and builds great products. That is the identity you need to solidify in yourself.
What habits do you do that solidify that give you the confidence that you are that guy?
Um, just I not it's not necessarily a habit, but when I envision something, I'm like, I want to build this out. I don't sit around and think about it. I do it instantly. I'm not thinking whether I should do it or not, or if other people have done it. I will go and do what I envision, and that by itself is everything. That's the coolest thing in the world when you can think about something, a mission, a purpose, and go out and execute it. There's no better feeling.
Do you have to motivate yourself, or is it just a flip switch on, all right, I have this feeling, I'm going to do it? Because for most people, for me, it used to always be, oh, I want to do it, and then it would never get done.
Yeah,
And then,
there's no
yeah,
one. You think about it, you go do it. It's once you start creating that relationship with yourself where you think of doing where you think of doing something and you go out and actually do it, you become unstoppable because you're no longer procrastinating, you're just executing. And then you're creating things and putting them out in the world, and from there on your success is going to be inevitable if you keep on iterating and improving.
yeah. Let's talk about your AI receptionist. I know it's still fairly new to you and you're learning how to code and everything, but why an AI receptionist? I don't think many people out here are, I'm gonna wake up and you know what I want to do? I want to build an AI receptionist. So how did you fall upon that?
Quite frankly, I built it because there is a huge market for it and there's a huge need. And many businesses want to integrate AI into their companies, but they do not know how. I was I'm fortunate enough that I taught myself the skill so I could, help these businesses integrate, and I can do it at a very large scale as well. And with that being said, you find a market, you find a need, create a solution for it, put those two together, and boom, you're an entrepreneur making money. Um, and with this AI receptionist, like it's gotten a lot bigger than I expected. We launched it like a week ago, and I made some connections because of my partners, and we just signed a deal that I mean I can't disclose due to NDA, but it's like a life changing deal for sure.
Wow, that's awesome for you, man.
Thank you.
How did you self teach yourself? What was that process like of AI learning and all of that?
Um, I've always just been fascinated with AI. Like I've used ChatGPT for pretty much everything. Like some people might say I'm cooked. Um, but yeah, I've always wanted to learn how to like integrate stuff with AI and just, play around with it. So it's kind of more just like a passion project. I don't really like it gets overwhelming sometimes, but like I said, I take a step back when it gets overwhelming and just playing like I just know that AI is the future. So I wanted to, get a piece of that, and I ended up meeting the right people who also want a piece of that, and you know, things kind of just went on from there, and we got a really good partnership going.
Is there like YouTube tutorials or TikTok or X? Like who did you follow? Who did all that? Or was it really just I'm sitting with chat and
It was just me and
I'm a
Chad.
code it?
It was
And
me
then
and
you
Chad.
just coded?
Yeah, and honestly, I'm building an entrepreneurship school that will, give people mentorship, so they don't have to, figure it all out themselves, and they'll get like their own AI mentor, and it'll be fully gamified. There's going to be levels and, points and leaderboards, and I mean, it's going to help people make real money and learn entrepreneurship in a fun way, and they can collaborate with their community. And I think that this is the future of education. I don't think people need to sit in the classroom for 7 hours anymore. I think they need to do more doing, pretty much. Like learn a little bit from your AI kind of as you're doing stuff. Like talk to your AI mentor, be like, hey, what do I even need to do today? And they're like, you should do this and that, and then go and do it, go execute, not just take notes and take a test.
Hmm. Yeah. Why start an entrepreneur school? AI entrepreneur school.
Because I wish people had just a mentor like I really didn't. Like I want people to also just I want to lower the entry barrier of entry to getting into entrepreneurship. People think it's so scary and all that, but there's a roadmap. There's some steps you can take. And I know people like, a system that they can follow, and this is kind of that system. And I want to make it very accessible. I want to make the school free for anybody to use, um, and just give people that access to the entrepreneurship knowledge that I didn't get.
To inspire other entrepreneurs, I feel like there's a lot of us out there that want to be entrepreneurs but don't have that set skills or the scariness of just jumping in, and then you're thrown into a million different things that you have to self teach yourself, and then you don't know where to begin, and so then you crash and burn. Is there going to be something on that AI school where it's almost like a motivation, like mindset discipline aspect to it?
Absolutely. The point of it also is like you're not gonna feel overwhelmed and stuff. You're gonna feel excited. You're playing a game essentially with this. It's gonna be gamified. There's steps, there's levels. You're gonna want to get to these next levels. And by the way, these levels consist of like starting your LLC or whatever, and then making your first $1,000, and then there's a bunch of steps you do between to earn each level, and even up to like your first million or 100 million, as far as you want to take it. But it's going to be more of like an exciting thing that you really are just you're playing a game, pretty much a business.
Yeah. What do you think about AI? Do you think it's gonna
It's
take
all
over the
it's
world?
already taken over the world, not in like a bad way, but a good way. Like we rely on it so much.
Yeah.
Our army generals are, making decisions with AI.
Hmm. Many people with most jobs, or people are losing jobs these days because of AI taking over it. How do you stay out of that? You're an expert in building it, so I feel like you're already out of it. So, what advice would you give for others to stay out of losing their jobs?
Learn how to use it. very well. If you know how to use it, then these employers are still going to need you because they need to implement it into their systems. So become an expert at AI, and also entrepreneurship is going to be on the next wave. It's never the barrier to entry has never been lower. AI does not cost a lot of money to, you know, put out, and anybody could just connect some APIs and create an AP, create an app that helps people in the real world. It's all about seeing how you can use AI to solve real world problems. Pretty much, that's pretty much the name of the game. And as far as losing your job, if your job gets taken due to AI, then job probably didn't need to exist in the first place. Can't even lie.
That's real. Where does someone start? Like, what AIs do you use other than chat to make AIs or develop just more knowledge on being able to say, I want to be better, I want to be fluent in using AIs?
Actually, a good tool for beginners is Base 44. It can build out a whole front end of an app and even like a simple back end um, of a full like web app using AI. So you just put in a prompt. You're like, hey, I want my app to do this, that, and it'll build it out for you. And I actually use that for a lot of landing pages and stuff, and it saves me a lot of time. And as well as just it's really cool. Like I have gotten several partnerships with multimillionaires just because they have an idea and I build it out for them in 5 minutes using this thing, and they're like, "That's so cool! I want you on my team. Let's partner." I'm like, "Okay, like sure." And I can take on multiple projects as well because I don't have to sit there and code for 100 hours. I can build something much faster.
Yeah, yeah. Let's let's go into what's your why for starting a business and becoming this big massive influence for everybody and making the AI receptionist, making the AI school. What is your why whenever you're on your down days and you have no drive, but you got to stick to it?
Um, just knowing that it's one step at a time. I mean, you're one day away from signing a deal or closing a client that's going to change your life. So you just keep pushing, and every single day there's that possibility. And I just know how many people that I am genuinely providing value to. That is pretty much what keeps me going. Like I know how much value I'm putting into the world. Am I going to get compensated for that value? Yes. When you provide value, you get compensated for it, in one way or the other. And whether it's money or just legacy and like credibility, like this AI school, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for to build build my legacy and just kind of spread the knowledge and inspiration to the younger generation.
Yeah, I really like that. I would say, did you ever start out with thinking, oh, I want it to be fame, I want the money, I
Of
want the
course,
bit of glory?
that's how I started. But once I got a little bit of online traction, I realized that it just doesn't matter. Like that stuff is so like superficial. Like you got to find a deeper why than that, or you are gonna crash and burn. Like if all you care about is money and fame, then you are going to dig yourself into a very dark hole.
Lonely. Lonely hole.
Lonely
Because
for sure.
no matter how much you can do, if money and fame are the reasons why, because it looks good. It looks like when you're 45 years old, you get the hot chick. Whenever you get the nice car, you get the big house.
Stuff doesn't matter.
But that stuff is all superficial at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
For me, freedom matters much more. Being able to do whatever I want with my time. I will take that over a Lambo any day of the week. Just because, I mean, say you want to go to Paris or Spain, just hop on a flight and go. You don't have to ask your boss or whatever. You are the boss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. what about your future? Whenever you're, let's say, what, 30, 35 years old, do you plan to have a family and dial back the workload, or do you plan just to stay gun ho on working?
I plan on dialing back the workload when I'm like 23 in like 2 years. AI makes it so you don't need to work these long days. Like you can put just as much output for a little time. It's gonna basically let you be more efficient so you can buy back your time. Yeah, I could realistically see myself in 2 years just retiring in a sense, but not really because I want to keep pursuing, this entrepreneurship school and DJing. Those are both fun for me. And if I just stop doing anything, I feel like I would just be depressed because what is the point of life? Like you have all this money, but like what are you gonna do with it? You need to find something that you're passionate about and you're helping people and making a difference in the world because like it's important, you know. Here.
What does freedom look like to you when you say you can go to Paris and Spain and travel all you want? That's kind of what I want to be able to do that with my family when I'm 35 years old. But what steps do you do to get there at the end of the day? Like, everyone says it's easier said than done. You're 23 years old and you're honestly making it sound pretty easy. You're saying it's AI, it's infinitable, and everyone always says that. But what's the truth about learning AI and actually allowing it for it to grow?
Man, I just know so many people like they just try stuff and then when it gets hard, they just quit. And that's honestly the hardest part, just sticking through it with it, just you know, getting through the nitty gritty. And honestly, if you can just build a product that people buy, one person buys with AI, you just repeat that over and over again, and that's literally the blueprint. I know I'm saying it's like sounds easier said than done, but it's really simple at the end of the day. Like it really is. Um, and yeah, you don't need to work a, you don't need to work all these hours for that to happen as well. You can just focus on it for 3 to 4 hours every single day and compound that, and over time you will look at your business and be like, wow, like I really built this, and wow, I can retire right now if I wanted to. And it's all because your efforts compounded, and the compound effect is real. Like I still sometimes look back and like I'm like, there's no way I built all this. Like wow, I'm 21 years old. Um, and it's not like I don't have a life or anything. Like I go out pretty much almost every weekend or every other weekend and have fun and stuff. But when like during the week, I'm just very I make those sacrifices and put in the hours. So if you just set your mind on something, you'll get it pretty much. You will figure out ways to get it. That is science. Like if you want to retire by the time you're 24 and you take actions to get there, you will 100%.
Yeah. Do you love the grind?
Yeah, I think it's all about the journey for sure. Like I honestly have more fun like in the process and the journey than even actually accomplishing something. Like I won a state championship in high school and I thought it was gonna feel a lot different when I was standing there with like a medal. I thought it was gonna feel just like euphoric or whatever. I just but the most fun parts were the actual season, the grind, the doing the sprints and all that. Like how just being with the teammates and um going through that together. That was honestly the most fun part, and I feel like I took that for granted. Than even the actual accomplishment. The accomplishment is kind of the result. It's not really anything that I mean. I don't know. Like it's not as special as you think it would be in a sense. Like even when um you're making all this money, it's not gonna feel as you thought it was. You're gonna look back and think of the journey more than anything, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. For people that want to change their lives, is there a book or something you would give advice to them to do it?
A book, it really just depends on like what type of like business or whatever they would want to start. But I would honestly, I don't think people really want to read books. I think they want to watch YouTube videos, and I would a YouTube like persona that I really like is Alex Hermosi. I think he has a lot of business knowledge. Sometimes it's a little bit too much. It can be overwhelming, but if you just watch him, like he's taught me almost everything I know about just sales and psychology and just business structure. And then who else? He's really the big
I'll
guy.
say
The
he's massive. He's very intense. I didn't start out liking him. I'm not gonna lie. When I probably yeah, a year ago I was like, man, like you don't need to be this serious. And now that I'm in it, I wake up 6 a.m., work out, and then literally the rest of the day is grind. Whether it's I work Jimmy John's, I do everything, schoolwork, and then probably like any free time I have is just working on the podcast, editing, self teaching myself. And now I love Alex Hormozy. I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about. And modern wisdom and all those, there's quite a few. Jack Neal, his podcasts are great. I love all those guys. And yeah, it only you can listen to it for 30 minutes a day and you're still going to gain wisdom.
it's so good for you. Like as a if you just constantly just that's all you watch, like you soak up that knowledge, you will be successful. Like the people the knowledge and everything that you consume is what makes you who you are. And if you're constantly watching all these Alex Hormozy and business videos, you're gonna associate yourself as somebody who is successful at business, who's knowledgeable at business. You're gonna be a lot more confident. And then I urge you not to just watch these videos but actually apply them to your business, and you do those two verticals at the same time, you will be successful.
That's great to hear. I love that.
Yeah, keep up the grind.
Yeah, let's go into a little bit of like a wisdom bomb for all the viewers. For someone who's just starting out, going through the judgment and burnout phases, what's a quick piece of advice you give to them?
Um, Things will get overwhelming, very overwhelming, and I urge you to push through that, but at the same time, take a break. What I mean by that is you get super overwhelmed, frustrated. Don't just quit. Be like, you know what? Forget this. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna take the night off. I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm just gonna chill, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow and figure this shit out. And do it. That's what I do, and it works because that just makes me not quit. It makes me keep going. And at the end of the day, if you just don't quit long enough, you'll be successful.
Yeah. Many students have ideas, inspirations, dreams of becoming something more. What do they need to hear?
Nike slogan, just do it. I know you're probably like, how do I even start? Just go to Google, be like, how do I start a business? It will give you the first 10 steps you need to do. Like it's the information's out there. Like it's not like you're just starting, go to ChatGPT, ask, give me a full roadmap on how to start this business. It will literally tell you exactly what you need to do, and all you need to do is follow the steps. And it's not rocket science. It's simple.
If you had a conversation with your younger self, what would you want him to know?
That you're doing great. You're doing that shit, bro. Man, I would be proud of myself right now. That 9-year-old self that he wanted to he would be proud of me for sure. Yeah.
What's the most painful lesson entrepreneurship has taught you?
Honestly, you can't trust everyone. I think that is a big one that I learned. Not everyone has your best interest in mind. You need to pick who you're doing business with very carefully, because people will burn you if it means their benefit. If they don't need you, then they will get rid of you. You need to make sure that you're providing enough value and that you own that value. Um, People all the time, they come up to me, say, hey, I will give you $10,000 or 100K for like 10-20%. And I'm like, what? That is not a good. I don't. First of all, I don't need your money. Second of all, I mean, this is like my baby. I don't want to just give it away for whatever. So, I mean, it's just know your worth and don't just give it up just because somebody wants to make you a deal. Like, you don't need to make every single deal. It's okay to say no. I say no all the time, and it honestly helps my businesses.
Yeah, love that. Just kind of wrap it up. You got any future plans?
Right now, just been pretty much all in on this AI receptionist business and really trying to get the ball forward, move the ball forward with just onboarding clinics and, you know, making life easier for them. And for the next 12 months, I feel like we can make a huge jump in the growth of our company. And I think it'll be life changing for sure. It
Love
already
to hear
is.
that. Yeah, really. It's going to be awesome. You were on that one website that one time. I saw your Snap story on that.
Yeah.
You have brought absolutely great wisdom today, but
Thank you.
if you were to sum up everything you have mentioned from beginning to end, what one line puncher would you say?
I mean, I'm going to borrow this from Nike. Just do it. Do it. Take action. That is it. That is the name of the game. Take action and don't quit. It's the one line.
Great to hear.
Yes.
Great to hear. Easy one liner. Everyone just do it.
Just
If the
do it.
people want to reach out to you, maybe check out your DJ, follow your Instagram, where can they reach out to you at?
At Ofri Kauf, at OFRIKAUF
Gotcha.
on all
You might be
platforms.
getting a couple DMs,
Yes, sir.
maybe asking about AI. Hopefully, reach out to them if you guys have questions about any of it. I'm sure you'd
I'll
probably
be
be more than
happy
happy.
to mentor anybody. I'm already mentoring somebody, and I mean, it feels good to just give back. So, let me know. DM me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. It's been a
Just do
pleasure.
it, guys.
Just
Just
do
do
it.
it.
Yes, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to Fratflix. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like. And subscribe and follow on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube at frat_flix. I hope you learned something that you can start implementing today. And remember, always love yourself. Peace.